What's up, creepers and geekers? Chris, the Atari Creep. Welcome as we continue the Blade Runner Blaster build. Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? First and foremost, let me apologize for my behavior and my attitude in the last video. I know I say the F word a lot, but I said it quite a bit, and I even emphasized it with text on the screen in the last video. And I know I really shouldn't be too bummed out about some of that footage being missing. But there's a lot of cool stuff I really wanted to show you. Not so much to brag or like show off, but just so you get an idea how my brain works when I'm making these things. One of the things I really like to do, and I mention it all the time, but let's go into a little bit more in depth on what it is for those who maybe want to get into building props or whatever. Not that I'm professional by any means or any stretch of your imagination. I do it for fun and I enjoy it. But I like to find things in the real world that resemble the idea of what I'm making. My Kylo Ren-esque lightsaber is a great example of that. I like to free cycle. I like to use junk. One of my heroes in the car making industry does that very thing. He needed a little ring for a taillight, a trim ring. And he couldn't find a stamped piece of aluminum that would fit his specific needs. And he noticed the bottom of a soda can was that exact shape. And he used it. And some people in the car industry are like, why? And he's just like, why not? It works. It's a delicate, custom stamped piece of aluminum that works for his purpose. His name is Ian Rossell, if you need to know. But I like to repurpose things in an effort to get my stuff worked out. Yes, I could fabricate this stuff all day long if I still had all those tools. I could have somebody do it. 3D printing is amazing now. You can have anything fucking 3D printed. But to me, that's not fun. And something that we're going to get into today falls under that category. Again, I'm sorry I'm talking so much in this one, but I think this is needed information. It's interesting to me anyway. I'm pretty sure it'll be interesting to maybe half a person out there. But yeah, so long story short, there's a lot of those kind of things I really wanted to show you that I just couldn't show you, and unfortunately the video was shorter than it really needed to be, and I was frustrated. I was actually kind of sad. I got depressed. But you know what? It's a new day. My spirits are high, and even though I don't have any AB epoxy putty or something to sculpt with just yet, so I can finish up on some things, I do have some materials here that I can get other parts going. Now, what do I need the AB epoxy for? Well, I need it for this over here. I need it to build this up. So I'm going to need quite a bit for this. And then there's a detail here. I don't know if you can see it upside down or not. But if you look at the receiver, it's off center. It's off center on this side. And I kind of did that by design. I may have gone a little too overboard with it. And the reason being is, let me get my reference picture here. If you look at this bad motherfucker, you notice it's flat here. I mean, it is on the other side too, but there's more steel, more material on this side, and it kind of goes underneath whatever these detail pieces are. All you Blade Runner guys can tell me what that is. I don't care. But there's this detail right here too, and I do want to mimic that. Though I am not doing a screen-accurate representation of this weapon, I want to get as close as I can. Not that it doesn't look like the Blade Runner weapon now, but, I mean, get as close to screen as I can while still making it my own personal piece of outsider art. So I do want to replicate that. And of course, I mean, I got to build up all this stuff. And I'm just going to use sculpting epoxy putty or something of the like for it. But what can we do today? I might have enough to do this. So I'm going to debate on whether or not to wait for more material to do it. But I do eventually have to get this going. And here's a great example of what I was talking about earlier with found items. I was stressing this. I honestly wasn't going to rebuild any of this. I was just going to add on it with a epoxy putty again and just kind of blend it together. But by accident, I kind of looked at a pair of sunglasses. And I noticed that, let's see if I have the right side, that the little deals that go behind your ears kind of resembles the shape of the latch. Now, obviously, there's going to be some manipulation with heat. Actually, I'm probably going to use this side because this bends out a little bit more. So it resembles it quite well. So it's something I don't have to fabricate. It's something I can repurpose. I mean, these were a dollar store kind of job. And the best part about it is the other thing I was concerning myself about is what I was going to use for the trigger guard. I didn't want to use the same material that I used for this because it's too thin and weak. And I don't know how well it would hold up to heat. So I'm hoping I have enough material in one of these. I don't think so, but we'll figure it out. And I could just heat it up, manipulate it to the shape I need it, and then sand it down to the proper width and make it as, as close to something like this as possible. Even if it doesn't go all the way up in here and goes into the butt of the handle of the gun like the original toy one did, I'd be okay with that. But regardless, all right, enough of me talking. I know I said I wanted to talk in this one and explain a few things, but I think I'm done. But a lot was done that you missed. I put a whole bunch of metal in here, a whole lot. I put some in here. There's a little bit in here on top of a busted pen that was about maybe that wide. A lot of this putty, a lot of hot glue. I didn't really put too much into this one. And, I put this bad boy there. I got the triggers in. They're off-centered. I think it just makes more sense to me. Like, your fingers, you don't want to, you know what I mean? If I'm holding this with my right hand and I want to fire this one, I want to distinctly be able to feel which one's which. So I off-centered it on purpose. It might be a little crooked, and I can fix that later. But, all right, enough of me talking. I'll shut the fuck up now and get to work on it. Well, that worked out way better than I really truly anticipated. That was a lot easier than I thought it was. But let me reiterate. I used the oven and a lighter to heat this up and manipulate it. This got really, really, really hot. I burned my finger the first time. Secondly, it let off a fume that I'm pretty sure I'm going to have eyeball cancer now. So don't do. I'm not even going to say if you're going to try this, do it at your own risk, which does imply. So, until we get some plumber's epoxy, I do need to really think about this. And rather than rebuild them completely, I'm just going to reuse these. I'm going to shave them down to as minimal as possible. I've already started cutting them. So now I'm going to use a Dremel, some sandpaper, and a file to make them as thin as possible to get them on here. Wrong one. And then once I do have some AB epoxy putty, I can work around it. Now with this thing, the only reason I put a layer of glue down here was just to give it something to hold on to, stabilize it so it would be a little raised off of the barrels. And the only reason I painted it was because I know there's going to be some spots that are going to be tough to get to once I do the final paint job. As you can see, this is already starting to flake off just a little bit, but I anticipated that. I just wanted to get some paint behind it, basically. Kind of hide my crimes, if you will. So let me get to grinding these down and seeing if I can get them as flat as possible. Maybe we'll secure them on today, and then we'll just move on from there. Alright, so I got these flushed down with my Dremel, a little bit of grinding and some sandpaper, and of course our trusty old sanding sponge. And I don't even think I need to say this, but I'm gonna anyway. Yeah. Pieces of this plastic went flying everywhere, still on. And I'm telling you right now, if I didn't have these on, I'd be fucking blinded right now. This is where I think we're going to call it quits for the day. We got a bunch done on it, a lot more than I really anticipated. Getting done until I have some A/B sculpty epoxy stuff. I did something pretty smart for once in my life. I decided to attach these while the glue up here was still hot and wet. And I was able to get them to secure really well. I mean, I added a little bit more into the corners here. And I might be second guessing this. It might just be a little too... I got to do some cleaning up here. I know. Might be a little too bulky. I don't know. But until we get some epoxy putty, I can't really get any more done on it anyway. So let me sit on it. At this stage, it's easy to rip apart and rethink. But next video, we should be completely done with it. But we got a lot done. A lot more than I thought we were going to get done. I'm really happy with how this came out. And I'm extremely happy with the way this came out. Again, please don't use your oven or something to heat it. If you're going to heat it up, use a heat gun and be outside or something with a mask. That was horrible. I'm surprised I'm not dead. But yeah, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Apologize for the attitude in the last video yet again, only because, I was discouraged and I try not to be a bummer. So guys, leave feedback. Let me know. Do you think this is too bulky? You think I need to clean that up? Let me know what you think so far. And, no feedback is negative feedback. Thumbs up, thumbs down. It's all positive to me. And until next time, guys, take care. And bye-bye. Hey, what's up, folks? The Creep here. Thank you, as always, so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more. You can follow The Creep on social media, and feel free to reach out at any time here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Creep would love to hear from you. And as always, thank you, take care, and bye-bye.